Why the hell is Josh Allen running that late in the game? Like, why is he running with the football? He was taking a pounding on some of these runs. And I looked at that and said, it would not surprise me based on how that game went last night if not only Josh Allen didn't start every game for the Bills this year, but also Matt Stafford, because those two guys took a pounding. Allen, because he wanted to scramble a little bit, but every time he got outside the pocket, it looked like he took a beating. And Stafford did too.
He does the exact opposite of trying to get down and not looking for contact. Like, he literally looks for contact. I mean, that stiff arm it's a great highlight, but I mean, some defender can grab your arm, pull you down. That's his throwing hand, mind you, which makes it even dumber to do that. So here's what I took away from last night. If the Bills don't win the AFC East, if they don't have a shot at winning the AFC and they aren't playing in the championship game, it's a direct result of Josh Allen getting hurt. That's the biggest thing that keeps him from doing that. Like, he can miss a game or two because I think they've got a quarterback room with Case Keenum, I believe, is the backup, who's very capable of coming in and winning a game. But, dude, I mean, they can't afford to lose him. I was thinking when they were up 3 scores, I was like, man, just put someone else in. Like, don't even allow him to make the decision to be able to be out there and take off and run if you're going to throw the football or if you do anything out there. Just take the decision out of his hands and take him off the field. That's the only way you can really protect him.
Especially if your defense is playing like that.
He didn't run very much early on, though. Like, early on, he didn't. It was like more later in the game, and I think it's probably because his mindset was to protect and preserve what they were doing and not let it get sloppy. But I don't disagree with that. You don't want to take those type of hits. I mean, we had the Lamar Jackson conversation all the time about why they don't want to pay, or why the reason why it could be that they don't want to pay that type of money, and it's always because of the contact that they're going to receive. So I don't disagree with the idea of, the guy who seems to be he is the odds-on favorite to win MVP. I mean, you don't want it to get derailed because you were running too much. You were out in that Serengeti running, and one of them lions or one of them tigers or something came, one of them cheetahs then ran up on you and took a leg off or something or an arm. You don't want that.
Imagine that if they'd like removed one of his legs from his body.
You wouldn't want that, man.
That'd be awful.
They got medicine to put it back on, but that's just an inconvenience.
It'll be fine.
You don't want to deal with that. Yeah,
it'll be all right. So are you more sore after the first game of the season than any other game? Like, the first game of the season because you haven't taken a pounding like that. So what are these guys feeling like over the next couple of days, Josh Allen and Matt Stafford? They got to be feeling awful.
Angry. Correct? I mean, sore.
I wouldn't even remember, to be honest with you. I know being sore was just being sore. You bang up against 300-pound men, 6'6", 6'5", and then you're hitting on people, in terms of tackles and stuff like that, and trying to run people down and hitting the ground. And, man, I tell you, as a coach, right, it's our game day, by the way. As a coach, to think about how sore you would be after a game, like you're watching, like I'll be standing on a sideline and I'll see the way they hit the ground when they tackle, and I'll be like, ooh, like – man, I'm straight humanized at this point, bro, because on everything, I can't even imagine what that would feel like to be running full speed, hit somebody, and, oh, by the way, y'all all are falling on the ground, people rolling on top of you, you're rolling on top of them, and, yeah, it's every bit of a full contact sport, man. But you love it. You know what I mean? That's what I do remember is you love the feeling of, it's like kind of a man's man type of thing. Like, I'm sore because I worked my ass off. You know what I mean? I'm sore because I was whomping ass. You know what I mean? Like, that's you definitely want to feel like you got in there and you were doing some work, some real work.
Yeah, that's good for you because you're on defense. What about the guys on offense you're taking it out on? What about these poor quarterbacks? Josh Allen, right? I mean, Brady Quinn's got to sit there. He's got to sit there and be sore for 2-3 days because you guys are out running around like.
You're being sarcastic because honestly, they dish out a lot of punishment too.
Who, the quarterbacks?
Not so much the quarterbacks. No, not so much the quarterbacks, but.
It's my quarterback. By the way, what?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
By the way,
I don't know what we're talking about now.
what did
That's
you
all right.
what did you make of Matt Stafford's tackle attempt? All right, did you see that when he threw the pick and he tried to make that tackle?
It was very dangerous. That could have been a season-ending, even maybe a career-ending injury. The way he tried to make that tackle, he should thank his lucky stars that it didn't turn out the way you can't stick your head directly down like that and go into somebody's legs the way that he did. Like that, that could have got ugly. Like I cringed, honestly. Yeah. Like, so I'm glad it didn't end that way, but you got to do better. I know they're not supposed to tackle, and I know he made the play, but that was dangerous what he did.
Yeah, it was a fun one to watch. Lots of interesting things that came out of it, and I hope the Bills stay healthy, man, because they are damn fun and talented. So, do you guys want to hear? Sean McVay had he talked about Matt Stafford's interceptions, and listen, loves his quarterback. All right, if you don't think so, here was the Rams head coach afterwards.
I love Matthew Stafford. There was a couple unfortunate balls that get tipped up, but those are some of those things. I know he's going to continue to compete. Love Matthew, and we're gonna keep riding.
All right, so because I thought he didn't play
his
all that
arm looked
great.
a little weak to me, guys.
I thought he didn't. I think he didn't play all that well, but. Apparently not, Brady.
His
I mean,
arm
apparently,
looked a little weak.
well, all is good here. 3 picks. We're good.
There was a couple throws. I was like, oh, okay. Like that's Russ. That's him trying to get on the same page. Like maybe it was Allen Robinson, who's obviously new to the team this year. It seems like they hadn't really connected yet. But whatever elbow issues he's been dealing with, it looked like it's playing a role in a little bit of last night's performance. I mean, there was an out route to the right he threw that was an interception. Which, look, for a right-handed quarterback, typically outbreaking routes to the right are ones that even if you don't set your body properly, you can adjust your arm and still make an accurate throw. That thing was well behind the intended receiver and got picked off. And I was like, man, that was to the left. Like, I get it because, your body's closed, so it's harder to adjust with just your arm across your body to then make that throw. So you sometimes see guys throw a little behind to their left if they're right-handed. But that throw, he's thrown for over 50,000 yards. He's the 12th quarterback to do so. Like, that's a throw he can make in his sleep. So that was one that really caught my attention and kind of thought, all right, like, I need to go back through and comb through this film because there's something off right now as far as, either his mechanics or in his elbow and that issue that they're trying to gloss over.
Does it get better? Something like that, knowing that
I don't know what it is, so it's hard to know if it will or won't. I mean, hopefully the chemistry with Allen Robinson will get better the more they play together.
Yeah, but his health is that's probably going to be the biggest question that's being asked the rest of the way. I agree with you on that, Q. It just looked weak. His arm looked weak. It didn't have that Matthew Stafford pop to it.
Yeah.
And
the type of pop that like knocks the photographer off a stage.
Great point.
Yep.
Great point.
Yep.
He hit that out route.
Yep.
Can't confirm that. I mean,
it
was actually a down and out.
I mean,
it was actually a down and out. What it was.
I mean, she showed up to take pictures of a Super Bowl ceremony and a parade, and ended up looking like Martin Sheen off The Departed. I mean, just right off the.
Goodbye.
He gone. Just it's just not great. But so Adam Schefter sent this tweet out yesterday, and look, this is why I'm a little skeptical on the whole whatever Sean McVay is telling us about Matt Stafford and his elbow or his whatever's going on with him. Because remember he came out and he said, well, there's some some stuff that they deal with. It's more like what a pitcher would deal with, and we're talking like Tommy John stuff was thrown out there that they're talking about this elbow, and he didn't really have an answer for it. And then all of a sudden people started discussing it more and more, and there was some concern. And then McVay went out of his way multiple times after that to say, oh no, there's no concern and we are good to go, and he's full go and he should be ready to rock and everything's fine. And then Schefter comes out the morning of the first game of the season and says that Stafford underwent an off-season elbow procedure to deal with the pain he experienced last season to help prepare for this season. Despite the questions about his elbow, Stafford is now said to feel better today than he did this time last year. I don't know about you guys, But I don't. He didn't look like this last year. So if this is something, and it's not that he played great all the way through, but it did look like there was something else going on. And the more that they try and tell you a different side of the story or spin it in one way or the other, the more skeptical I get that this is going to be something that he's not going to have to deal with the entire year. Just feels a little off to me.
Do you guys get the sense that this season could be just burning crash and flames for the LA Rams?
Yes.
I'm not going to go there yet, but
I am.
I mean, it certainly didn't look good.
I had the feeling of that last night, though. Like, I picked them to win the NFC West. I was like, oh, no. Uh-oh. That's not good.